This is Voice of the Dreamer, where broken dreams come back to life, where belief is louder than doubt, and where your next breakthrough starts now. If you're tired of waiting, tired of shrinking, and ready to rise, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you on a journey today, a journey to the heart of what makes dreams come true. I'm talking about belief. Not just any belief, but the kind that sets your soul on fire, the kind that makes your heart pound and your spirit soar. This is the belief of an emotional believer, someone who doesn't just think they can achieve greatness. They feel it in every fiber of their being. It's that deep, unshakable conviction that says, I was born for this, and nothing will stop me. What does it mean to be an emotional believer? It's about more than just having a goal or a dream. It's about feeling that dream so deeply that it becomes a part of you. It's the difference between saying, I might succeed, and declaring, I will succeed because I feel it in my bones. It's that fire in your gut that gets you up in the morning when the world tells you to stay down. It's that passion that keeps you pushing forward when everyone else is thrown in the towel. Let me share a story from my own life. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, labeled educable mentally retarded by a system that didn't see my potential. I could have believed those labels, but I had a mother who saw something different. She looked at me and said, "Son, you are destined for greatness." Those words planted a seed in my heart, a seed of belief that grew stronger every day. It wasn't just a thought. It was a feeling, an emotional certainty that I was meant for more. I remember a pivotal moment in my life. I was at a motivational seminar, sitting in the audience, dreaming of being on that stage. The speaker looked out and said, "Somebody out there should be holding this microphone right now, but you're not because you don't believe in yourself. I'm standing in your dream." Those words hit me like a lightning bolt. I ran out of that room, found a phone booth, and called my mentor. "I'm not rejecting myself anymore," I told him. That was the day I became an emotional believer, and it changed everything. Look at history, and you'll see emotional believers everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just have a dream. He felt it so deeply that he inspired a nation to rise up. The Wright brothers didn't just think they could fly. They felt it in their hearts, even when the world laughed at them. Helen Keller, despite being deaf and blind, felt a burning desire to learn and communicate, and she became a beacon of hope for millions. Their belief wasn't just intellectual, it was emotional, and it moved mountains. Belief is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, you're just drifting through life. But when you tie that belief to your emotions, when you let it ignite your passion, you become unstoppable. Emotional belief gives you the courage to face your fears, the strength to push through obstacles, and the resilience to keep going when the road gets tough. Let me tell you about a young woman I met who wanted to start her own bakery. She had no money, no experience, just a dream and a love for baking. Everyone told her it was impossible, but she felt that dream in her soul. She started baking in her tiny kitchen, selling cupcakes to neighbors. That emotional belief kept her going, and today, she owns a thriving bakery chain. That's the power of being an emotional believer. So, how do you cultivate this kind of belief? Start by knowing what you want. What's your dream? What's your purpose? Get clear on that vision. Then, feed your mind with positivity. Read inspiring books, Listen to motivational speakers like those found on Les Brown's official website. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who see your greatness. Visualize your success, feel the emotions of achieving it, and let that feeling drive you forward. You have something special inside you. Your unique gifts, your talents, your perspective, they're needed in this world. Don't let doubt or fear dim your light. Become an emotional believer. Feel that fire in your soul that says, I am destined for greatness. When you do, there's nothing you can't achieve. Overcoming doubts and fears. Now, let's get real for a moment. Becoming an emotional believer sounds powerful, but it's not always easy. Doubts creep in. Fears hold you back. The world throws obstacles in your path, and sometimes it feels like your dreams are slipping away. But here's the truth. Those doubts and fears, they're normal. Every successful person has faced them. The difference is that emotional believers don't let those doubts define their reality. They feel them, acknowledge them, and then push through. Let me take you back to a time when I was struggling. I was broke, living in a cramped apartment, working as a janitor. My dreams of being a speaker seemed impossible. People around me said, "Les, be realistic. You're not cut out for this." But I remember my mother's words, "You are destined for greatness." That emotional belief kept me going, even when the world said I should quit. I refused to let their opinions become my reality. A lesson I learned from a teacher who told me, someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Fearless motivation. You have that same power. You can choose what you believe about yourself. When doubts creep in, remind yourself of your why. Why do you want this dream? Is it to provide for your family? To make a difference? To prove to yourself you can do it? That emotional why is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when the storms of doubt and fear come. Let me share a story about a man named John. John wanted to start a nonprofit to help kids in his community, but he was terrified of failing. He'd never run an organization before, and his mind was filled with what ifs. What if I don't raise enough money? What if no one supports me? But John had a vision. He saw those kids' faces, felt their potential, and that emotional connection to his dream gave him courage. He started small, organizing one event, then another. Today, his nonprofit helps thousands of kids. John became an emotional believer by facing his fears and taking action. So, how do you overcome doubts and fears? First, invest in yourself. Read books, attend seminars, listen to inspiring content like Les Brown's audio collection. These resources remind you of your potential. Second, surround yourself with positive people. As the saying goes, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose people who believe in you, who challenge you to grow. Third, take small steps. You don't have to conquer your fears all at once. Just take one step forward. Each step builds confidence, and soon, those doubts start to fade. Another key is to reframe failure. Failure isn't the end. It's a lesson. When I was starting out, I got rejected countless times. Radio stations, event organizers, they all said no. But each rejection taught me something. I learned how to pitch better, how to connect with people. Those failures were stepping stones to my success. Emotional believers see setbacks as opportunities to grow, not reasons to quit. And let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is just a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. That's where growth happens. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what emotional believers do. They act despite the fear, driven by their passion and belief. Let me share a story about a man named John. John wanted to start a nonprofit to help kids in his community, but he was terrified of failing. He'd never run an organization before, and his mind was filled with what ifs. What if I don't raise enough money? What if no one supports me? But John had a vision. He saw those kids' faces, felt their potential, and that emotional connection to his dream gave him courage. He started small, organizing one event, then another. Today, his nonprofit helps thousands of kids. John became an emotional believer by facing his fears and taking action. So, how do you overcome doubts and fears? First, invest in yourself. Read books, attend seminars, listen to inspiring content like Les Brown's audio collection. These resources remind you of your potential. Second, surround yourself with positive people. As the saying goes, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose people who believe in you, who challenge you to grow. Third, take small steps. You don't have to conquer your fears all at once. Just take one step forward. Each step builds confidence, and soon, those doubts start to fade. Another key is to reframe failure. Failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. When I was starting out, I got rejected countless times. Radio stations, event organizers, they all said no. But each rejection taught me something. I learned how to pitch better, how to connect with people. Those failures were stepping stones to my success. Emotional believers see setbacks as opportunities to grow, not reasons to quit. And let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is just a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. That's where growth happens. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what emotional believers do. They act despite the fear, driven by their passion and belief. If you're facing doubts right now, know this: you are stronger than you think. Your dreams are worth fighting for. Connect with that emotional why. Surround yourself with positivity and take that first step. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. As I always say, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Inspire your success. Taking action and living your dreams. Belief is powerful, but it's only the beginning. You can believe with all your heart, but if you don't act, your dreams will stay just that, dreams. Emotional believers don't just feel their dreams, they live them. They take action step by step, turning their passion into reality. As I've said before, it's possible to live your dreams, fearless motivation, but it starts with you. The first step is to set clear goals. What do you want to achieve? Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Define what success looks like. Is it starting your own business? Writing a book? Helping your community? Write it down, make it real. When I started, I wrote down my goal: to become a motivational speaker who inspires millions. That clarity gave me direction. Next, create a plan. Break your goal into small, manageable steps. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start with what you can do today. When I wanted to get into radio, I didn't have experience, but I started by volunteering at a station, learning the ropes. Each step built my confidence and brought me closer to my dream. Let me tell you about a friend named Sarah. She dreamed of being a writer, but kept waiting for the perfect moment. Years passed, and she hadn't written a word. One day, she decided to act. She wrote one page, then another. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. That first step led to a novel, and today, she's a published author. Sarah became an emotional believer by taking action, no matter how small. Here's the thing. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The time to start is now. You don't need all the answers or all the resources. Start where you are with what you have. As I always say, do what is hard, and your life will become easy. Motiversity. Small steps lead to big results. And don't let setbacks stop you. The road to your dreams will have bumps, rejections, failures, disappointments. But emotional believers see these as part of the journey. When I was trying to break into speaking, I faced countless rejections. Each one stung, but I kept going. I learned from each no, refined my approach, and eventually got a yes. Persistence is what turns dreams into reality. Action breeds confidence. The more you do, the more you believe in yourself. It's a cycle. Belief fuels action. Action strengthens belief. Keep that cycle going. Take one step today, another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll be living the life you dreamed of. Let me share one more story. There was a young man who wanted to start a tech company. He had no funding, no connections, just a vision. Everyone said he was crazy, but he felt that vision in his heart. He started coding in his garage, building a prototype. He pitched it to investors, got rejected, but kept going. Today, his company is worth millions. He was an emotional believer who acted on his passion. So what's your next step? What can you do today to move closer to your dream? Maybe it's writing that first page, making that phone call, or signing up for that course. Whatever it is, do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Your dreams are waiting. I want to leave you with this. Your dreams are possible. It's possible to live the life you've always wanted. It's possible to achieve greatness. All it takes is emotional belief and relentless action. Become an emotional believer. Feel that fire in your soul. Take that first step, then keep going. The world is waiting for your greatness. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for watching and spending this moment with me here on Voice of the Dreamer. If this message spoke to you, even just a little, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else needs to hear it too. Drop a comment below and let me know what part hit home for you. And if you're ready to walk boldly in your purpose and fuel your faith, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss a dose of inspiration. This is more than a channel. This is a movement for those who still believe. And I believe in you. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep rising, and remember, your voice matters. Let's go.